word out here. Let me turn this down when it pops up. And then share button, Twitter. That here. Just copy. Give me one more second here. And I can do my official mic check. So let me put this here and put that there. Put that there. Let me put this in one that's salty. Hopefully you'll come by and watch. And all right, guys. Now let me go back over here. All right, all right. All right, so let me go to this. And, all right, guys, mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Let's see here. And mic check 1 2. Let me change this to select an option. That's what I'm trying to do. And let's go Twitch. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. What's happening, everybody? What's happening there? Shout out to everybody that's here. Sam Ash. What's happening there, young man? Uncompetitive. What's happening? Mega Davo. What's happening? What is going on? Brigadier William Wilderbeest. How are you doing, sir? Long time no hear. Link, how are you doing, buddy? Link, what is going on? Certainly hope everybody is doing well. Certainly hope the mic sounds good. I think I fixed my Epic Store problem. I think. I just have to go directly through the Epic Store. My shortcut does not work anymore. So, oh boy. There's that sound I like to hear. So yeah, shout out to everybody that's here. That's going to be by later on. Like I said, I wanted to do this podcast to just kind of moving forward and talk a little bit about the Ghost of Tsushima trailer. Certainly hope that everybody gets what they want out of it, so to speak. I mean, my expectations are just hopefully to see some more gameplay. I've been, you know me, I've been wanting gameplay for Ghost of Tsushima for a long time. So, yeah, I saw that N4G.com article. Just real quick, it's an opinion article. That's fine. It's okay to have diverse opinions, people. It's okay. So, and Lansville Paul, yeah, I'm going to talk about that a little bit in my final thoughts and the Epic demo trailer. So, yeah, what I'm going to do here today is give you all a source on, the final thoughts on the Epic demo trailer that we saw. I just call it the Epic demo. Ghost of Tsushima, we're supposed to get gameplay of that today. And I didn't do that one very well. Let me do a little editing here. It didn't show up. That is strange. Let me and then see if it saves it now. Let's just see what happens. It may not save it. I don't know. So, so yeah. So what's going on there, Gaminator? How are you doing? Um, but yeah, it's but I'm going forward because I had a nice experience with me moving forward today on Twitter actually. So, but so my thoughts on the epic demo that we saw yesterday was it's just everything that Mark Cerny has said. There looks like they're going to be able to do. So like to see more. People have been asking for gameplay and what some things next gen are going to look like versus what can they do now that they can't do. What can they do on next gen right now that they can't they can't do down the road or something like that. And what you saw was pretty much what you saw. You saw global illumination, which it would look fantastic, which is the lighting situation Epic used. Again, this was Epic's solution that they used. They, you saw the SSD at work on the Epic demo. You heard from the developer themselves that they expect this demo to run on the PS5. Now, very quickly. Could this demo run on Series X? Yes, but it would run differently because they would deploy assets differently, and that's the truth. Series X doesn't have a faster SSD. So one of the things you may have seen that's different is VRS maybe come into play, and when she was flying through the air, maybe where she was headed has a little bit more detail. I mean, again, that's the way it would work. But because they would have to pull resources away from something else. That's just the way it works at this point, guys. It's just the RDNA shares resources better than any other AMD card. And I think what happened. Well, this is what happened was that these guys there's a certain group of people that they thought that, and shout out to Optimus Code. I'm just going to quote him from last night on the Brat podcast. And just because just because something has a bigger number doesn't mean it's going to be better. Doesn't make it better automatically. Okay, it doesn't. And so I've I've said that over a course of time. It's obvious that some of these cats don't know the difference between resolution and graphics. So one of the things that you're going to see next generation, you saw it. You saw something with better graphics. You had 8K textures or graphics being pulled down into a 1440p resolution and being outputted. So again, it is what it is. But there's a group of people, and again, this is kind of goes into everything. Moving forward, I'm done arguing with them. When the Epic dev comes out and says something, go take your bitching and moaning up with the Epic dev. So let me read a couple of questions here. I got them on my phone. Let me go ahead and get them. What's up, Billy T plus Ultra? What's happening? What's happening? Let me look here. Had to pull my Marlin Gaming Nation tribute, walk away for a minute. Shout out to Marlin. So I'm going to answer these two questions here live on air. Okay. Mario Heat, shout out to him. He left a funny comment. Um, well, maybe I can look at his comment and run through that. Okay. So Andrew Clay, 16 hours ago, says, "So, Mr. Tech Guy, I'm going to need you to explain to me why White Zaddy said the demo was only running at 1440p 30 FPS on the world's fastest console." Okay, because that's your output. Your resolution is 1440p, but they also had 8K textures running with the 1440p natively. They didn't upscale. They took native 8K textures and they put them into what we saw yesterday. Again, this is Epic solution. Maybe Rockstar says we're going to use 4K textures and output it at 1080p. My point to you guys is that I've sat here. I know I've sat here, and I know you guys have heard me. Hit that like button if you don't mind. Good grief. Yeah, hit the like button and share. Um, it's yeah, you got to hit the like button because that helps the YouTube algorithm. That's why. That's why we ask you guys to hit the like button. That's why we're being. I mean, you don't. It's free. Just hit the thumbs up, or you can hit the thumbs down. Uh, but these guys do not understand there's a difference in graphics and resolution. They just don't. They're still on this whole resolution gate thing. And it's because they believe that the reason more people bought PlayStations was because multiplats were 1080p or whatever, or 900p, and they were lower resolution on the Xbox, okay? And they fundamentally they do not understand that PlayStation is a bigger global brand. Okay, it's a bigger global brand. They're always going to sell more than Microsoft. They just are. It's a bigger brand. It really reminds me of, and this is stepping back here. It reminds me of the DC fanboys and the Marvel fanboys. I mean, eventually the DC fanboys had to accept Marvel was the bigger brand and that they were going to be more successful. It doesn't mean that DC is terrible. It just means it's not Marvel. And they accepted that. And in DC, they did that Joker movie. Again, very well received. Joaquin Phoenix won an Oscar. But then they turned around and did Birds of Prey, which was trash. I mean, it was garbage. It didn't do as well. So now they're doing the Batman with Rob Patterson. So have to wait and see how that's going to turn out. But my point here is that there's a group of them that are just never going to accept facts, and it doesn't matter who says it. D-Batch, and I'll just call names here. I'm not saying this maliciously. There's a reason why D-Batch and Colt Eastwood pushed the narrative of PlayStation 5 only being RDNA 1. There's a reason they did it, okay? And that's because that's what these cats want to push because they are afraid of what's going to happen this generation. They can't have a repeat of the generation that we're in. They can't have a repeat of it. Okay, they're not gonna accept that. So even if they have to lie about it and lie and put misinformation out there, they're going to do it. And that's what D-Batch, that's what Colt Eastwood, that's what those guys have been doing. And D-Batch doesn't care that he's wrong about something, and neither does Colt Eastwood. They don't care because they just want to put the lie out there, and then they'll just delete whatever they say. Oh, they'll delete their comment or whatever they got to do. They'll hide it. So what's up, King Thrash? Oh, it's like Coke and Pepsi. Yeah, Pepsi makes great money. They make fantastic money. But Coke is the bigger worldwide brand. It doesn't mean Pepsi is terrible. But, and there's another question. So again, that takes care of Andre Clay. Andre Clay, I really recommend you understand that there's a big difference in graphics and resolution. You need to learn about that. How many of you all have heard me say, let's see how many of you all have paid attention. How many of you all have heard me say that 1080p ultra settings looks better than 2160p in mid to low settings? How many of you all have heard me say that? Okay? Because if you've been listening to what I've been saying that for months. I've been saying I'd rather play at 1440p at high to ultra settings than play at 4K at medium settings. So it is what it is. But you know, getting these guys to understand that when they have a narrative in their head, they're not going to change it. So instead of going back and forth with them, I'm done going back and forth with them. There was a guy on Twitter this morning who I literally dropped the link to the article that was written, that's co-authored and published by a computer science professor about global illumination and ray tracing, and how the article, again, the published article clearly states that global illumination is the better way of using light when you're going to put light in. This guy literally said that professor was wrong. So it doesn't. So they're arguing with computer science professors. They're calling developers liars and lazy. They're calling. They said the AMD CFO. I'm sorry. That came out and said that RDNA 2 would be on PS5 and on Series X. They said he was a liar. Now, the reason why they're doing it is plain and simple, is because they are fucking pissed off at Microsoft. Okay? They're so mad at Microsoft for not delivering what they've been told by guys like the RDX podcast, and guys like Jez Gordon had told them a bunch of lies on what was going to happen this generation, and it's not going the way they thought. So they're still waiting. They're still waiting on a game. We're all waiting on a game from Series X that's only going to be on Series X. All right? Because I've seen a game from Epic running on the PS5. Yes, it was a demo, but it's still running on the PS5. And I don't know if you all saw this yesterday. They were arguing with Jeff Keighley. I don't know if you all saw that. They were arguing with Digital Foundry. Okay, and then finally Lisa Su came out and trolled. Lisa Su, the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company, or whatever, how much AMD has on cash on hand, came out and trolled them all yesterday. So they had the developer from Epic shit all over them. They had a CEO shit all over them. They had Jeff Keighley shit all over them. They had Digital Foundry shit all over them. And they are pissed the hell off. They're mad as hell. Like I said, what do the kids say? There's a difference in big mad and little mad, which I've never heard of it, but which I thought was funny as hell. What the hell's big mad? But they are big mad. Whatever that means, that's what they are at this point. And there's no talking to them anymore about it. No, I think his name was No Russian, the guy that Corey Massey did not bust his cheeks. Corey Massey, literally, shout out to Corey Massey, he's a sub. He actually tried to have a conversation with this guy on what was going to happen. Again, I mean, he tried to talk to this dude, and this dude flapped his gums about 12 T-flops and VRS and all this kind of stuff, and now he looks stupid. I'm trying to find his question. May not be able to find it. So, all right, here it is. I'm sorry. Same type of question. This is from No Russian, 16 hours ago. Says, how come world's fastest console can only run I don't know what that means there, rendered scenes at 30 FPS at 1440p no less. I thought PS5 was bottleneckless thanks to a fucking drive. Also, Tim Sweeney confirmed that the demo was capable of running on current gen hardware that doesn't feature SSDs, LOL. So here's my answer. I said, are you sure it was are you sure it was 1440p, or was it 4K with 8K textures and output at 1440p? I told him the pixel war is over. Way too many techniques to use. Did you see any bottlenecks? I mean, did anybody here who saw that replay or saw that who saw that being played, did you all see any bottlenecks? The answer is no. And I put down, or did the Epic dev praise the SSD and I/O on PS5? And he turned around and said that Epic SSD I/O appears to amount to a ton of bullshit, since now we know the inexpensive nanite photogrammetry properties can be reproduced all the way down to mobile platforms. Again, they cannot be produced down to mobile platforms, and he's talking about games like Fortnite and things like that. So there is nothing the PS5 SSD can do dramatically separating it from any other platform that uses flash bandwidth. This is already wrong. This is already wrong. So I just put down, the devs clearly disagreed with you. The demo isn't possible on any device. It's spec for PS5. Said, look, you're going to have to take their complaint to them. Several people have tried to tell you what was going to happen, but you didn't listen. Just watch the breakdown of the demo with Jeff Keighley. The devs clearly talk about the SSD and other things such as global illumination, which we know global illumination is a better way to use ray tracing. We know that now. So, and then he just posted this 7 hours ago. I didn't see this. It says, one last thing. I believe, this is from him, I understand why Sony wants everyone to use SSD as their #1 buzzword for PS5. It's because it's the last core component on a kit they haven't used. Once again, this is wrong. The reason why they're talking about the SSD is because that's what the developers wanted. Okay, so it says, think about it. PS3, it was a CPU to sell. PS4, it was T-flops. Again, I didn't know anything about that. And GDR5, Unified Pooling System, that was a 2-for-1. All that left to market is a drive. Well, it's that. You see what I'm saying? And then he goes right to the SXSX. So let's talk about the overall theme of what he's putting out. He is putting out the fact that something that he doesn't like the fact that the SSD is better on the PS5 than the XSX. He doesn't like it. He can't stand it. And now, and because Xbox Series X has the lowest spec on that end, he doesn't think it matters. You know, the Epic devs, look, could the demo that you saw yesterday run on PS5? No, because it wasn't built. It was built specifically for the PlayStation. I'm sorry, could it run on Xbox Series X? Yes. But, you know, I'm sorry. Let me back up. I got all these letters in my head. the demo that we saw running yesterday could not run on Series X because it wasn't spec'd for Series X. Another demo would have to be built and then it'd be spec'd for Series X. Just like, and if they did that, if Epic did that, Epic would not that demo would not be able to run on the PlayStation 5. It wouldn't be able to because it's two different types of hardware. Again, they're doing the same thing. They're doing the exact same thing, but they're doing it differently. And like I said, they are mad as hell. That is true. There will be no PS5 news today. You got your PS5 news yesterday. So you got your PS5 news yesterday. Mm-hmm. Link, you're right. Epic said the demo was built for PS5. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't understand that. He still thinks it's about pixels and Xbox Series X. I'm sorry. It's just like the guy on Moore's Law, with Moore's Law is dead, said. Going forward, they're going to start making games for SSDs, and Sony has a clear advantage on that. Sony has a clear advantage on it. So, but again, this is the butt hurt that I'm talking about. So, and instead of me going back and forth with him and typing stuff in and typing stuff out, so, and, you know, he's making it about Microsoft screwed up. Sony again has a bigger install base worldwide, it's a bigger brand. They will always sell more stuff. It doesn't matter what Microsoft does. Oh, Epic also said yesterday that they were using this spatial 3D sound. I don't know if you all caught that yesterday. So, Harry Tron says, do the UE Unreal 5 engine run on the Switch? That I don't know. They didn't. There's no reason to think it can't. But again, they're going to spec it to that. And I love how No Russian did not listen to the developers after when they talked to Jeff Keighley for what 40 or 45 minutes. Because for a guy who claims to be interested in next gen, here's a developer specifically giving you details on the next generation, and No Russian didn't listen to him. He did not listen to them. The bottom line is this: is that they do not want to admit they thought that the Series X, because it has bigger numbers on certain things, because it has bigger numbers, they think it's going to be better. That's just reality. And like Thanos said, reality is often disappointing. But now reality will be what I want it to be. So again, that's what we got. That's what we're dealing with here. And there's a level of intellectual dishonesty that's beyond anything that I've ever seen. And yeah, and these cats don't care. You know, so the demo that was done yesterday, my final thoughts. That was a demo built for the PS5. It was not built for the Series X. Therefore, it can't run on the Series X. Now, can Epic build a demo to run on Xbox Series X? Yes, they can. But it will act fundamentally different than what we saw yesterday. And I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I do not, let me make this clear, I don't have a problem with that. He does. Guys like No Russian does. So it is what it is. So, so you got, like I said, instead of arguing back and forth with him, I'll simply say, hey, look, yeah, I see that my thing is not acting right here. Let me try to get it to him. There we go. Let me try to get it to work right. Well, at least you all don't hear my ankle bracelet today, do you? So, but yeah, like I said, the fundamental intellectual dishonesty, and they literally want to say, well, there's nothing that XPS5 can do or can't, that Series X can't do or whatever. There's nothing that Series X can do that PS5 won't do, and I'm just like, I'm over it. I mean, I'm over it. Global illumination is a better technique than ray tracing. That is the situation that is a solution that Epic Games used. Now Streamlabs is acting up. Hold on here, my Streamlabs is acting up. So, so the Gaminator says it's going to be what now? It's going to be deja vu between the PS5 and Series X. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. So, I mean, these guys are arguing. I mean, really want you to think about it. They're arguing with developers. They're arguing with AMD executives. They're arguing with everybody. And again, it's because they're unhappy. So moving forward, let me make this clear. I'm done arguing with people about it. I listened to a podcast yesterday with a shout out to the podcaster. It was Muscle Bound Gamer, MBG, and just the excitement, the joy, the the happiness. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. The happiness that he was exuding, and everybody was excited yesterday. And he was excited, and I liked his approach on how he took things. It's like, look, just because one is out there and one is doing very well, it doesn't mean that the other one is bad. So but I want to celebrate gaming, and I can't do that going forward, arguing with a bunch of people that have gone full retard. Okay? It's like this morning. I mean, it doesn't matter that a professor of computer science helped publish an article about global illumination and ray tracing and how global illumination was better than ray tracing. That doesn't matter to them. Okay, it matters to me. Okay, I don't worry about ray tracing because, as a friend of mine who works, a friend of mine's son who works at Industrial Lights and Magic said, there are multiple ways to track rays, ray paths. You don't. It's not. You don't have to just do ray tracing. But and that to me is fine. I mean, this guy works for Industrial Lights and Magic. He ain't into the whole console thing. He said nobody, and he wanted me to tell you all this. Nobody should be surprised that Epic and Sony are now working together because Epic software is being used by Walt Disney for The Mandalorian. So Taika Waititi helped direct 2 or 3 of those Mandalorian episodes, right? And we all know that Taika Waititi is now going to be directing a Star Wars movie. So Sony makes movies. People forget about that. They make movies. They make TV shows. They make cameras for you to film your movie on. They make they make 4K cameras and things like that. They have IMAX cameras. I think they help make. So the Game Editor says that you see a tweets from people using games that are multi-plats and acting like they're exclusive to Xbox. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I no longer am going to be talking to those people. I can only speak for myself though. I'm not gonna do something. I'm not gonna ask you all to do something, then not do it myself. That's hypocritical of me. So I'm no longer talking to those people. Okay? The reason they're arguing, the reason why they're mad at the developer, the reason they're mad at Jeff Keighley, they were mad at Digital Foundry. I mean, it was this complete trash yesterday. They were going crazy yesterday. And the reason why they're going crazy is because they're unhappy. It's like no Russian. All he wants to be able to say is there ain't nothing that the PS5 is going to do that the Series X can't do. He does not understand that the Series X's SSD is slower. Okay. Shout out to Rice Eater 79 for the $5 holler. Let's talk about what Max's comment is really about. You say that he said T-flops still matter. Start right there. T-flops matter to Matt's Gaming and Matt's Gaming's people that he talks to. Okay, because see, yesterday we saw something running on less T-flops. And they have been telling people, what have they been telling people? That it's all about the T-flops. You see, it doesn't matter that developers, people who actually make the damn games, it doesn't matter that the developers have come out and said the T-flops aren't a big deal anymore. The developers have said that. White Zaddy, Digital Foundry has said that, okay? But to Matt's Gaming, he's going to have to tell people what matters because they got taken apart yesterday by that demo. They were hurt as much. All of us were happy, and I want to keep saying that we were all excited about the demo yesterday. What they did not like was it was running on a PlayStation 5. They didn't like that, and Epic Games said that not once, not twice, but 3 times. And they still went to the comment section and they bitched and moaned and they complained and they said this is no way this is PlayStation. It can't do this because again, there's been different people telling them that the only console that's going to be able to do what we saw yesterday is the Xbox Series X. And now we know that that's not true, and we've been trying to say to them that that's not going to be true, but it didn't matter. It did not matter because they absolutely cannot have what happened at the beginning of this generation that we're still in, by the way. They can't have it happen again. They are going to have none of that. So they are willing to lie to make sure it doesn't happen. That's ultimately what we saw. They are willing to lie to make sure it doesn't happen. So yes, D-Bash is a liar. I am saying it. He lied, okay? There's anybody who said that the Xbox Series X was the only ones that are going to be doing some type of ray tracing or whatever is a liar. Okay, Lisa Su came out yesterday and took a dump all over them. Okay? Took a dump all over them. And so now they got to deal with that. Now they have to deal with that. So, Hondolo, Ghost of Tsushima will be the last PS4 exclusive. This year, I don't know. As far as from their first party studios, I think so, but I don't know. I haven't looked past that. But see, that comes out in July. Yeah, because then you have Madden coming out, then you have EA's game, FIFA comes out, and then we'll be into the new console cycle. So, what's up, Ice Queen? So, and so Corey Massey says he's gonna say that after yesterday, Mark Cerny will be henceforth known as the Mad Genius. Yeah, I think Sick Humor either calls him the Mad Genius or the Mad Scientist or something like that. Shout out to Sick Humor. Like I said, I'm still looking for my 52 CUs. So, I said D-Batch did a video yesterday. What's up, Eric? D-Batch did a video yesterday, said he was blown away by. Well, I mean, look, let's make this clear. Everybody that I saw was blown away by it. And I don't know if you've watched that on you all's 4K TVs yet. Okay, because I looked at it this morning on my 4K TV and I was like, geez. I mean, that's all I could say. I must have said that 3 or 4 times. Then I watched a couple of reactions from Tyrone Magnus to shout out to Tyrone Magnus. I watched his reaction. Shout out to Mystic. He's a PlayStation guy. I watched it. Also, I dropped the link to Red Gaming Tech. I think that's who it is, Red Tech Gaming. He has about a 45-minute video on the differences between the PlayStation GPU, CPU, and the Xbox CPU, GPU. He does a good job of trying to explain what the differences are. And let's hope the guy doesn't get kicked in his balls. I mean, he had to go back and say several times, I'm not saying that it means this. I'm not saying that it means that, okay? So, but again, I'm just going to reference Musclebound Gamer because he had a podcast on yesterday where he was just excited. And I remember being that excited at the beginning of this generation in 2013, working. I remember I was working at. I remember sitting down and watching the Xbox unveil and all that kind of stuff, and just being excited about the next generation because I was in the Xbox ecosystem, so I wasn't keenly tuned to what Sony was doing because I had not been in the PlayStation ecosystem since I got rid of my PS2. So, and got the regular OG Xbox, the black box. So, and I had gotten the 360, then I got the 360, I guess it's called Elite. I think that's what it was called. And I bought that. Then I bought the 360 Slim model. I think it was, so that's where I was at. But at the end of the day, these guys are attacking everybody around them. That's just what they're doing. They're attacking everybody. So Jeff Keighley put out his tweet yesterday saying, no, that was on a PS5 kit. That was on, a dev kit. They got mad at Jeff Keighley. And now they're upset about the Epic games. I hate to tell No Rushing this, but the Epic guy said that the Sony SSD is the top of the line, whatever he said, best SSD out there. So that means it's better than the Xboxes. That means the people who are speccing to the Sony kit are going to spec it to that SSD. And I'm the one who sat here, and I'm the one who said, look, Star Citizen, there's a reason why the developer of Star Citizen recommends an SSD. There's a reason why the people who are making Microsoft Flight Sim, I showed the specs to Microsoft Flight Sim. What did they recommend? They recommended the SSD. That's it. They recommended it. It's over. Because, and again, so why does Series X have an SSD? Because the developers that Microsoft talked to wanted an SSD. Okay? Mm. Mm. Look, Harrytron, Don should call England or UK. You can call it whatever you want to. Yeah, the Game Manager says he can't wait to see what Sony's first party does with the PS5. Yeah, I mean, again, and I always have said at the beginning of every generation, it's going to take the developers time to use the tools that they're given to get everything out of the system. The games that you have out right now, like Uncharted 4 came out, what, 2 years? All right, when did Uncharted 4 come out? Hold on. Alexa, when did Uncharted 4 get released on PlayStation?
Here's something I found on reference.com. PS1 was released in 2000.
Oh, yeah. Alexa,
the
stop.
Original place.
So, Alexa, when did Uncharted 4 get released?
Uncharted 4, A Thief's End was released on May 10th, 2016, and it is available on PlayStation 4.
Okay. So 3 years after PlayStation 4 launched, Uncharted 4 came out. Now, I don't know how long that game was in development. So, where's the GT7 footage? I forgot what I did with that. So, but that was up. That was up. It was all in Japanese. And it was early. It was an early build. That Mike's Hard is good. The demo, showcase all the games PS5 would get. It showed you the glimpse of Uncharted, glimpse of Spider-Man. Well, see, no, that's all right. I disagree with that, Social Joins. It simply showed us it showed us that the tech works. It showed us that they are going to be able to stream in content. So that was my big question. How do you stream content in on a variable frequency? Well, you simply just put in what you're going to use, and but it's unfair to compare the Epic Unreal Engine to the Decima engine and to like the Rockstar engine because they're two different kind of engines that will spec differently. So, what time will we see State of Play? That is 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'm in the Eastern time zone, so it is 4 p.m. Eastern time. Now I know that Eurogamer is already set up to watch it. They already had 20 people in their room. I think Eurogamer's coming on at 3:45 Eastern time. There's going to be other people watching it. Shout out, I think Marlin Gaming Nation. I think he plans on streaming it. I also think BitCloud, he may end up streaming it, and I think Sick Humor is going to end up streaming it. So, and maybe Next Gen 720. I'm not sure about Next Gen 720 though. So, but yeah, but Ghost of Tsushima, that is today, and that is supposed to be whatever 10 to 15 minutes of gameplay, give or take. And so I'm excited about that because I want to see if they're going to use the stealth elements. I want to see what it's going to be like using no waypoints. Remember, they're not going to have any waypoints for us in this game. None at all. So what's that going to be like to navigate the world? How are your NPCs that you're supposed to recruit? How are they going to help you on your journey? These are all questions that I've got. And so hopefully, with the gameplay trailer, we get answers to some of them. Not all of them. Not all of them. That's just my Ghost of Tsushima wish list. So our wish list, I should say. So, yeah, sick as a trip. Yeah. So Super Hyena said it's supposed to be 18 minutes long. Okay, well, 15 minutes, 18 minutes, semantics. Okay. Corey Massey said all you can do after watching that demo was play something. Yeah, I agree, Corey. Um, again, I watched it this morning on my 4K TV, and I've got a Samsung 7000 series, and I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I mean, because I remember I watched it with BitCloud yesterday, so I'm shocked. So I was shocked by it this morning. I didn't think it looked as clean as it did. And again, it's just a demo. It's not a real game, but it showed us. I'm just glad we saw some gameplay that the device is capable of. And we got to remember, Corey, that device was old. That was an old device they built that on. They said they started building that in September, October. So that's crazy. Imagine what the device is capable of now. People are like, was 1440p 30? Well, maybe the new kit can do 1440p 60. I don't know. I'm not saying that it can. Do not put words in my mouth. I'm saying that was an old build, so we'll have to wait to see what the new build can do. So, yeah, Eric Williams says he's excited to tune in. He'll be looking for the 52 CUs. Yeah, I'm still looking. I am still looking for the 52 CUs. So I don't know. So is that happening today? The Ghost of Tsushima thing, yeah, it's supposed to be 4 o'clock Eastern time. It's kind of I've said that there's a such thing as a 1-2 punch. Sony if Ghost of Tsushima is today and it delivers the gameplay and things like that, you're going to see a devastating 1-2 punch and be done with it. So. Corey Massey said that he watched it yesterday on his OLED, and my God, that's 1440p, then you don't care about 4K. Well, you got to remember, Corey, it is 1440p output, but those are 8K textures all being piped in. So yeah, I got you. I understand what you're saying, though. Yeah, I was looking at it, I'm like, well, that's 1440p, my God, but there's all these upscaling techniques that can be used. Shout out to J-Dub. He was on Next Gen's podcast yesterday, and that's what he was saying. Like, you all got to get over this pixel thing. Pixel counting doesn't matter anymore because there's all these techniques they can use now to get to where they can go. They can use, like, Insomniac use the temporal aliasing. I think that's what it was called. And to get to where they needed to go. I think that's what it was called. So, did I see that NVIDIA is going to show off the 3080 Ti tonight? No, I did not, and I can't afford it anyway. So, the only one I can afford is the 1660. I can, at this point, right now, click the button and get the 1660. But tomorrow, I'm buying the 5600 XT that you guys sponsored. I'll be able to buy that tomorrow. So now I'll be clicking that button tomorrow, hopefully by 3 o'clock. So that's my plan tomorrow. So Derek Roy said he's in the Central Time Zone. Then it'll be 3 p.m. in the Central Time Zone. So damn, he said if it says the video to him, it's trash. Well, I don't. If they're going to show it, fine, but they have to show a price. And they have to show when it's going to be releasing. But yeah, that Unreal 5 engine, as far as that demo, that's why they're upset, is because what they thought we were going to see at the Xbox, inside Xbox, that's what everybody thought they were going to get. And instead, they got Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and they said it, and then they got the information that it's going to be running 30 frames a second, and now everybody's trying to damage control it running 30 frames a second instead of 60, and they call the developers lazy, and it's just like, good grief. The game is being developed on DX11. It's being developed for this generation because, again, Microsoft quit this generation. Nobody else has quit this generation. That's another thing that no Russian and Andrew Clay don't understand. Okay, they don't understand that Microsoft quit this generation. Everybody else is still in it, having a good time. Okay, we're talking about a game, Ghost of Tsushima. That is this generation. That is this generation. That's not a next generation game. And even if it gets some type of boost, it's still not a next generation game. It'll just get some kind of boost. So, and it should not look. Let me make this clear to everybody right now in an earshot of my voice. Ghost of Tsushima, a current gen game, should not look anything like what we saw yesterday. Because yesterday is what the future could be, and I'm saying could be, and right now the Ghost of Tsushima is showing us where this generation for Sony has gotten. Now understand, the first game I played on PS4, I think was think. Oh my goodness, think. The first game I played on the PS4, I think it was an NBA 2K game. I think. No, it was Killzone. The first game I played was Killzone, and I thought Killzone was trash. I mean, the PlayStation said it was going to be the Halo killer and all that kind of stuff, and I played it. I said, "Well, look, this is not a Halo killer, but it looked great. It looked fantastic, you know." So that was on the Decima engine. So which shows you how scalable Decima is. But at the end of the day, the Ghost of Tsushima, I'm hoping if it looks like what I saw yesterday, there'll be no reason for me to get a PS5 for at least a year. You know, and apparently the PS5's production. Well, yeah, I don't disagree with that. Shout out to Rice Eater for the other $5 holler. And what he is pretty much saying is that, well, it's not that the resolution, it's that it's. You're right. The resolution doesn't matter because of the graphics. But that's why. I mean, again, I'll say this again. I'm playing Mass Effect Andromeda on PC. I'm playing at 1080p high and ultra settings because I mix the settings up. You just don't go to one button and hit ultra. You have to go to like 10 buttons. So some of the buttons are on ultra, some of the buttons are on high. The water is on medium or low. To me, putting water in ultra is stupid. It's water. You're gonna, so it's like clouds. On Assassin's Creed Odyssey. On Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you can control the volumetrics of the clouds. Like you want a medium or high texture or ultra texture. It's like, it's a cloud. It's a cloud, for Christ's sake. I don't care about it. So, but again, my point to you is that the graphics on my 1080p screen, which I have a 1080p PC screen, Samsung, that looks better than the PlayStation Pro that's running checkerboard at 4K, okay? Its native output is 1800p, but the graphics setting is low to mid. And it just doesn't look, and it's on a Samsung TV. So I have a Samsung monitor and I have a Samsung TV. And the Samsung TV plays in HDR. So, and it still don't look as good as playing in ultra and high settings. And that's what we saw yesterday, was that we saw something with 8K textures, guys. That's been confirmed by Epic. That's been confirmed by Zaddy. Jeff Keighley talked about it. So this whole thing of Sony will not be able to support 8K textures. That was just, again, those guys got totally shit on yesterday. Their entire narrative died. And now, like you said, D-Batch was saying that he was blown away. Negro, we are not going to forget that you said RDNA won. I'm glad you were blown away, but are you all going to forget that D-Batch said RDNA won? Because what he wants to do is say, oh, well, I said that then and this is now. No, that ain't the way it works. That is not the way it works. So I did read the full super chat, didn't I? Did I miss the full super chat? Says what the PS5 demo proved is that resolution doesn't matter when the triangles are the same size of pixels on the screen. Everyone thought it was 4K before Digital Foundry. Yeah. The pixels on the screen were compressed from what? From 8K textures. And the fact is Epic went to an actual cave and transposed what they saw in the cave onto the screen. That's photorealism, folks. That's when we talk about the photorealism card. So, I mean, this is a total domination. And again, the reason why guys like Andrew Clay and No Russian are upset is because they thought that Xbox was going to be showing them stuff like that. And Xbox did not show them that. And they're pissed off. They're pissed off. It is what it is at this point. I don't care anymore. Like I said, I'm no longer going to it says read the full super chat to understand what I'm saying. You may have missed the part of the demo. Triangles in the demo are the same size as pixels on your TV. Yeah. I think I did read that. So I got you. I understand what you're saying, Rice Eater. So, but but the reason why, but these guys are big mad at this point. Gamer G said he didn't care 8K on the PS5, but Sony can't do 8K a lot. Well, I mean, again, that's a lie. And that's my point, is that that's a lie. We now know that the PlayStation can do 8K because we have confirmation, not from Sony, but from Epic Games, the people who actually created the demo. So but Harry, this is what I'm talking about, is I personally don't care when somebody says what something can and cannot do when we specifically get it from the developer saying that it is. These guys called the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer of AMD. They called him a liar. They said that he didn't tell the truth. They said he was talking about Lockhart, not PS5. That's the level of intellectual dishonesty. Okay. That's the level of intellectual dishonesty that they are willing to put out. They're willing to just lie at this point. So, and again, the fact that they got shitted on by Lisa Su, who trolled them yesterday, is the ultimate laugh. That is the ultimate laugh. So, so I just, I'm like, hey, you know what? When you get shitted on by a CEO, it's just time to move on. It is time to move on. So, but let's see here. I was trying to see if there are any more questions because it's noon and I do have to get ready to. So, yeah, again, Billy T was happening. So, Eric, the greatness of the Raiders. I'm just making sure there aren't any more questions. So, Lansville Paul out of Canada said it's going to be a rainy day here in Toronto. Ugh. Now, see that our weather changed. Yes, I tell you what. On Tuesday, I had on my coat and a scarf and my gloves and all that stuff, and today I got on shorts. So today I got on my shorts. So you reckon there's a PS5 Unity demo coming? Again, well, we might see that. So what's up, Impatient Fire? Yeah, Xbox are running scared. Well, at this point, they're just lashing out. They're attacking. Like I said, I mean, to say that developers are lazy and not look into why, not understand that Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Odyssey and Origins were developed for this generation. They were happy and excited. When Assassin's Creed Origins came to Xbox X. Do you remember that? Remember when Origins came out and it was dynamic 4K and they were jumping up and down and all that kind of stuff. So, what is my prediction for the PS5 reveal date? I probably sometime in June. I mean, again, but I'm looking more forward to The Last of Us playing that. I mean, if I see the PS5, I'm like, okay, fine, but I can't go buy it. So what I hope when they reveal it, they also say you can pre-order it right now. And everybody better be ready. So, Everybody better be ready. How salty do I think the Xbots are? Dude, they're so salty that they're arguing with developers, Jeff Keighley, Digital Foundry. They're lashing out, saying that there's nothing that the PS5 can't do that the Series X can't do. Well, duh. We've been saying that for months. How many of y'all have heard me say they're going to do the same thing just differently? Okay, I've been saying that for months. The problem is guys like No Russian did not want to listen. He wanted to talk about 12 T-flops and VRS. Corey Massey's in the chat. He can back that up. I mean, the guy was going on and on and on. VRS, 12 T-flops, and, you know, this many gigabytes of RAM and 52 CUs. And, I mean, and then what we saw yesterday totally blew that apart. Totally blew that apart. So, you know, that guy has got to deal with that. You know, he's got to deal with that. So they still have Battle Toads to look forward to. That's right. It's a good point. It's a very good point. So it's a good point. Oh man, he says they're in winter over there. Y'all have a winter? Well, we're just now starting our summer. Like literally, this is the nicest day. This is the second nicest day this year so far. So, and the only Xbox guy I will talk to is the man with a million, Randall Thor. I will talk to them. I will talk to the man with a million. So I think Sony has a PS5 Pro in the work. I also think PS5, Lockhart, are the base consoles. Well, I don't know. I mean, again, okay. I've not heard anything about another PlayStation coming out this generation, but fine. You know, I'm not gonna worry about it. Hell, I haven't even seen the first PS5. I'm not gonna worry about another one. So, you want to see how the next Forza and GT7 going to be? Yeah. Well, both of them are as far as what they look like, or as far as how they play. They play differently. Like if you play with the gamepad, it plays fundamentally differently than if you play with the pedals and the steering wheel. You all know that, right? You get much better handling with all those driving games. So if you like driving games, I hope you got the gas pedals and the stick and the driving wheel. So PS4 Pro was for 4K displays and VR. PS5 supports 8K displays out the box in VR. No need for PS5 Pro. That's what I believe in, Patient Fire. But you know, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe Sony's got another boomer in the bin. I don't know. So, wonder why they didn't choose the almighty Series X. That's a good question. I believe it's because Epic makes Epic has software running on a TV show, The Mandalorian, and Sony makes TV shows and movies. So if you're Epic and you're wanting to move into the movie and television realm and expand, it's actually a good idea to cozy up to Sony. You know, because Epic is much closer, and Epic Epic already has a good working relationship with Fortnite. Because didn't Fortnite go to PlayStation first? It was like PlayStation, then it went to Nintendo, then it went to Xbox or something like that. So, you know, so they already have a good. And remember, they were playing Fortnite, which is an epic game, on a PlayStation 4 in the Avengers Endgame movie. I don't know if y'all remember that or not. So yeah, but and again, they spec the demo to run on the PS5. Again, they spec the demo to run on PS5. You know, not to run on Series X. And again, it can run on Series X, but it would be fundamentally different because Series X has different assets that they would use to make their demo. That's why it would be different. Okay? That's why it would be different. I'm not here to say now, just because it's different doesn't mean it makes it worse. It just means it would be differently done because the tech is different. So when they say, well, it would be 4K, they can say whatever they want. We'll never know. We will never know. So, you know, that's why it's dumb that's why for me personally, it's dumb to argue with them because they're arguing about what could be. They're again speculation. This is why we refer to Matt's gaming as Jack Reacher because of the rampant speculation. And I'm just done doing that when I have a develop. It's like a doctor comes and tells you you have high blood pressure and you need to start working out to get your weight down. Let's say your doctor says that. These Xbox guys would start arguing with the doctor. That's how displaced and how despondent they are. They're going crazy. Kid Smooth had a meltdown yesterday, a total meltdown. All right, they're going crazy. So it's just like, well, why in the world keep talking to them? Now somebody wants to have an honest to goodness conversation. Say, hey, why do you think Xbox is doing this? Do you think Sony may do that? That is a totally different approach than this horse shit that they're shoveling of, well, it can be like this on the Series X. It will only do that on that. Series X has this. It doesn't matter. What we saw yesterday totally killed that. Okay? You can say, do you really think games, all right, let's just say they build that demo on the Series X. Do you really think it's going to be that big of a difference? And shout out to Muscle Bound Gamer for saying this. Okay, Series X is more powerful. They got more T-flops. Do you really think it's going to make that big a difference? Because what they believe, the narrative that they're pushing is that it's going to make all the difference in the world. Now, there's another developer that came out today and said that once you get to like 9.7 to 10 T-flops, there is marginal differences in what you can do. Now, that's from another developer. And now you have these people running around saying that Sony was caught. I mean, the whole thing, Sony was caught off guard. Sony doesn't know what to do. Series X totally took them by surprise. But meanwhile, this guy is flapping his gums on that horse shit. Yet Series X yet it was yesterday. PS5 does a demo with Epic, and the guys who are absolutely wetting their goddamn pants are in the Xbox community. The Sony people are like, okay, well, who got taken by surprise yesterday? It is obvious it was the Xbox who got taken by surprise, and I can say that based on the reaction of you all just bitching and moaning, and you can't believe what you saw and all that kind of stuff. So, 1440p high, you'll take that over 4K low to mid. Yeah, me personally, yeah, me too. 2N, S2N. That's me personally though. That somebody else may want something different, and that's fine. That's fine. So, Andrew, you're the one who's bitching and moaning, dude. I read your comment, and everybody got a good laugh out of it. So I'm not the one complaining. I'm not the one. Obviously, the guy who said that Sony was taken off guard by what Xbox was doing is a fucking liar. Because based on what we saw yesterday, the people who got taken off guard was Xbox. They're in total shock. I'm getting things like, wow, I can't believe what I just saw, and finally next gen is here, and all this kind of stuff. They're not saying that about Xbox. So Sony isn't worried about Xbox. Yeah, and Sony's chief executive officer said something about that. Said they asked him about the marketing, and he said, look, if we get outsold by Microsoft, then we'll be able to say, yeah, our marketing failed. So pretty much he was like, we're going to see who wins the sales war. Now the Xbox community turns around and says, well, sales don't matter. Okay. Go get a job at a car lot and say to your boss, sales don't matter. They will boot your ass off the lot so fast as your head is spinning. So, Corey Massey says, if they make that demo on Xbox, then I have trouble believing that she flies from one end of the map to the other in real time with 8K textures dynamically reacting to her as she passed. Okay, see, I think they could do that, but I just think that they would use the variable rate shading so that where she was directly looking, it might look a little bit better. But Corey, if they use variable rate shading, what was going on around her would look. It wouldn't look as good. It wouldn't look as clean. You know what I'm saying? Because what shocked me about that demo was how clean it looked. Okay, that like how clean everything looked. Okay, the Series X, because they would default to variable rate shading. What it looked like when she was going down, this if you looked at the side, it would probably look blurry on Series X because they would have to take assets from there because she's looking straight ahead, and that's where variable rate shading comes in. Um, could she fly? But could it do something similar? Yeah, it just because they would spec it differently. Maybe then we would see the 52 CUs. Yeah, to me, they got plenty of T-flops to do 1440p, 60, and high graphic settings or ultra settings. And that to me is what the PlayStation Pro and the Xbox X should have done. But Xbox was too concerned with pushing 4K. They did it to their detriment. And PlayStation was talking about checkerboard rendering. And I think at the very end, checkerboard rendering won out. It won out because PlayStation's first party games look better than the third party games running on the Xbox, which I think when Randall Thor had his guest on, he said at the Randall Thor. So Andrew, we're in our final. We put final thoughts, yeah, because we're moving forward. We're gonna, we talked about Ghost of Tsushima as well. Good grief. Robert McLeod said, let's just admit Xbox has been the optional console since 2015. Yeah. Yeah. Xbox is busy deleting dislikes. Wow. Wow. Impatient Fires an Unreal demo for PS5 has 192,000 likes. Yeah. Well, again, that was Sony wasn't even there. They just said, here's our dev kit. So, but yeah, Andrew, we're in final thoughts about that, about what we saw. Everybody's excited about it. The Xbox community is complaining about it, and I'm only speaking for myself. I'm done going back and forth with you guys. You can either accept the hard truth, or not. It doesn't matter to me. If you think ray tracing is better than global illumination, that's on you. I mean, I've actually seen an article that I sourced that clearly shows that it's not. And I move, the devs are shitting all over you guys. Lisa Su, the CEO of AMD, shit all over you guys yesterday. So for me, there's nothing more I can say when the CEO of a company shits all over you. You're done. There's nothing else to talk about. So what's up there, Henrique? Xbox equals flop. No, I mean, I'm not buying an Xbox. If they do the Lockhart, I will look to buy it. And hopefully Xbox event next month or in July, whenever they have it, they actually show the Lockhart. They show gameplay and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay revealed on Series X has. Well, they didn't show no gameplay. They lied. And look, Xbox apologized for that. They came out and said, "Yep, we dropped the ball. Fine. Just they have to do better." Corey Massey says the whole flying bit is loading assets from SSD at a very fast rate. You think Microsoft would have a problem with that because my PS5 SSDs are? Oh, okay, fair enough. That's actually a fair. Yeah, I can understand that. I understand that. So they may not be able to load as many assets, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. I got you. So, you're not saying it can't be done. You're saying that you doubt she does it in real time. Oh, so you think it would be like a CGI trailer? Like when she was flying, you would think it would be CGI. I mean, that's fair. I mean, again, I don't blame. That's actually a good observation. So. Harry Tran said the Xbox Series X is like a Ferrari and the PS5 is like a Lamborghini. They are both consoles. They are both super good. Yeah, I mean, again, and to me, I'm fine with that. And I want to give another big shout out again to Musclebound Gaming because he's right. They're both going to exist in the same space. Okay, I don't know what else to say, and I'm fine with that. I'm not buying the Series X because they don't have any exclusive games. That's why I'm not buying it. I don't care about the tech. The tech is good on both of them. They're both going to play 4K movies. They're both going to have HDR. They're both going to support um, variable rate shading. I mean, we go on ray tracing. They're both going to do the same things. So, yeah, Danny Ruiz, I don't disagree. I'll take 1440p with high settings any day. Me too. Me too. I mean, when I bought my 1080p monitor, I was trying to buy a 1440p monitor. I went up there like I had like $190. Was like, well, sure, I get a 1440p monitor for $200. Nope. Nope. N-O-P exclamation point. Nope. Didn't even give me the E. Didn't even, they just said, nah, I can't do it. So the Hellblade 2 was running. The Hellblade 2 pre-rendered trailer was running sub 4K 24 FPS with no gameplay, physics, or real-time lighting to process. Xbox Series X could not run that PS5 demo at all. Well, again, Rice Eater, I don't disagree with that. The game that we saw running yesterday was spec'd for the PS5, so I'm not denying that. That's why I'm like, it's kind of like, yeah. I mean, the only guys who are arguing about that are guys like No Russian, and Andre Clay, who doesn't understand the difference between resolution and graphics. So you'll take 1440 with advanced checkerboarding at ultra settings over 4K with medium low settings. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I prefer 1440p, especially gaming on PC. And I've been gaming on PC a lot more. I'm winding down because my PC will be going to the shop in a couple weeks. So, yeah. So these bots are going to take another massive L today at 4 p.m. Eastern. Possibly. But again, Danny, the way I look at it is instead of them taking a massive L, I'm going to walk away with a massive W if they show me, the gameplay, if they show me stealth elements and how that game is going to run without waypoints on getting to where you need to go. Stuff like that. The NPCs, how that's going to work. Because you got to recruit them for different things. So how does that mechanism work? Is it how many RPG elements are in the game? Stuff like that. I mean, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to walk away with. I already know the game's going to look good and all that kind of stuff. But I don't look at it as the Xbox taking another L. They're going to lie. They're going to say it was downgraded. They're going to say, because that's what they do. It was downgraded. It didn't look the same as it did 2 years ago. I mean, they'll say anything they got to say to throw a rock at it, and then the next thing they'll do is they'll try to spoil it because that's the stupidity that you're dealing with. So, but again, I'm trying to get away from giving them an L and me just taking the W and getting online and talking about it, whether it's later tonight or on RGT tomorrow with Big Cloud and that on that podcast. And that's where I'm at with it at this point. I mean, yeah, Xbox to me yesterday took a massive L, especially the fanboys. And I've said this week on 2 occasions, I said Series X has not been taking an L. The fanboys pushing their bullshit have taken the L. So that to me is who took the L. And Lisa Sue came out with her mighty AMD sword and shoved it right up their ass yesterday. Shit all over them. If you all don't know her tweet, she sent out a tweet that confirmed RDNA 2, and then she had that emoji. Let me see if I can find the emoji and put it in here that she put out there. Because I cracked up. I just cracked myself. I literally just cracked up. It was here's the one she put out yesterday. Here it is. That one right there. She put that out, and that's just a total trashing of the Xbox community. So, all these guys saying RDNA 1, 1.5, no VRS, no ray tracing, none of that. It's not going to be able to do this, this, and this. Got totally shitted on. So, yeah. PS5 demo increased my excitement for next gen. Yeah. It does for me. And from what I have seen other people saying, it did for them as well. That's what I like is that it did for them. So, and but I was already excited, but I'm more excited about Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us, and me finishing this Hitman game that I got for like $18 yesterday, and Final Fantasy VII, and recalibrating the baseball season because you can't get no real time information because there's no baseball being played. So, what's going on, Iron Fist? How you doing? The Xbox fanboy community is one giant L. Yeah, that's who took the L. The L was given, it happened Monday or to whenever that crap happened with the Xbox thing. So it's just the fanboys are just taking another just L after L after L. And that was I thought it was funny, but I'm done going back and forth with them. I mean, again, if the Xbox community wants to ask legit gaming questions, I have no problem trying to dig up the information and putting it in a link or sharing the information. I had no issue with that. I'm the only one in the Xbox community talking about the flight sim. I'm the only one talking about it. You don't see anybody hardly talking about it. None, nobody, because they're not interested in it. They want to see the game so that they can use it as a slam card against the PlayStation community. I mean, that's the truth. That is the truth. So, but they're not, but they don't talk about, they don't even know what planes are going to be on there. None of them do. They don't know the plane. I'm the only one that put out what planes are going to be on the game. So it's just I'm the one to put out the specs that you're going to need to run the game that I've seen in my YouTube community. I've not seen RDX do that. I've not seen Max Gaming do that. I haven't seen Boom do that. I haven't. So I put that information out, and it's just and again, and they're not going to do that because they want to just see the game and say, "Oh, look how great it looks." PlayStation don't have nothing like that. That's what they want to say. You know. You know. What's up, Jay Swoles? The Xbox taking the L since 2013. They've taken a giant. They took an L this week. I know that. Whether it happened in 2013, whatever. I mean, but again, you can have something output at 1080p if you have ultra graphics or high graphics settings. It's going to look better than something at 4K in mid to low settings. So, I mean, just it is what it is. But guys, you got any more questions? It's 12:30. I gotta actually get my clothes out of the dryer. Isako Tan series is coming to Disney Plus. That's new. That's breaking news. So it's like Corey Massey. You were talking about the rendering and how they were rendering the textures through the SSD. They don't understand that. They still think. I mean, the SSD is going to do so many different things. So, what's up, Luis? How you doing? So, much as you want to say Xbox died in 2013, nope, it really died in 2015. It died when Phil Spencer came out and said we're putting all our games day and date on PC. That's the day Xbox died. As far as an individual brand, it's now just part of another ecosystem, which is fine. But I'm not the one complaining about that. They are. So they don't care about facts. You're right about that. They sure don't care about facts. So they don't care about the facts because they have their own bullshit narrative that they're pushing. And like I said before, they don't care if they have to lie about their own narrative. That's just who they are at this point. So, what up, Optimus Code? No slander. Yep, you got it, brother. Shout out to Optimus Code, who I am trying to get to come on the podcast because maybe he knows where these 52 CUs are. So, but shout out to Optimus Code was on BRAP yesterday, and I quoted you on there from yesterday, Optimus Code. I love when you said, quote, just because something has more doesn't mean it's going to make it better, end quote. So, but shout out to BRAP. They had Optimus Code. They had Jay Barry, Speak From Your Heart on there. So, yeah. But yeah, you know, the Optimus Cole went on Matt's Gaming's podcast, and he didn't give them the fanboy narrative they wanted to hear. And in the comment section, they were calling this man all kind of frauds, and he don't know what he's talking about. And then Assassin's Creed Valhalla comes out and it's 30 frames per second, and you got Matt's Gaming over there talking about we need to boycott the game. These guys have gone from talking about 52 CUs and variable rate shading to why we're going to boycott the game. I mean, that's how big and that's how terrible things have been for them over the last week and a half. And so it's just it is what it is, guys. Yeah, Optimus Code. I listen to you. I've been following you on Twitter for a while, so shout out to you, brother. So Optimus Code also went on the RDX and told the truth, and they were arguing with him. Saying, well, I think this is going to happen. I think that's going to happen. It's like, fool, it don't matter what you think. Here's the reality. So, yeah, shout out to Optimus Code. So, he's keeping it real out there. I guess they call him the YouTube gaming streets. So, yeah. Halo died as soon as it went to Steam. Now, see, I like, oh, yeah, I know everybody gets along. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Halo to me didn't die. I still really like Halo. People like they hated Halo 4. It's like they liked Halo 4, but they didn't like Halo 4's multiplayer. Then it was like, then they said, okay, or something like that. Or they hated Halo. I don't know. I liked Halo 4. I liked Halo 5. I liked all the Gears games. Yes, even Gears Judgment. I like Gears Judgment. Because anytime you give me a gun with a saw and say, go kill things, I'm good. That's fine. I got a gun with a saw and some grenades. Give me my objective. Oh, okay. Here we go. So, and I think Gears is that on Unreal 4? I mean, so there's a lot of games on Unreal 4. So that bodes well. That demo yesterday we saw bodes well for that. So, so yeah. And Patient Fire said Halo 5 was dog shit and was the game that finally killed the franchise. See, I enjoyed Halo 5, but okay, I respect your opinion. So it said it got irrelevant with the Steam. Oh, okay. Well, I don't think it's irrelevant, but I think it's unfortunate because Master Chief is synonymous with the 360. I mean, he is like Mr. 360 as far as I'm concerned, and so the fact that they lost that aspect of it, I understand if you're going to say that. So yeah. So yeah, I know that Plus Ultra. Shout out to Optimus Code. So but yeah, check out that podcast yesterday. Check out that podcast. I mean, that was a good podcast they did yesterday. So it went late into the night though, but shout out to them. So, but guys, I'm gonna get on off here. I do have to go get my clothes out of the dryer. Master Chef, yeah. And oh, check out that NVIDIA. I don't know if y'all saw NVIDIA stream this morning. They've got some type of new AI ray tracing thing with this marble thing. It looked fantastic. It was photorealistic. So, I mean, golly, it looks so good. I mean, I'm pretty sure, and I think they say later tonight, I think shout out to Uncompetitive, they're going to announce their 3080 Ti, which is going to probably cost about half a lung, so. I mean, like I said, I can get the 1660. I could actually afford the 1660 Super. Okay, I can afford the 1660 Super, but I can't afford the 2060 or 2070. Actually, I can get the 2060 as well. But I'm going to get my 5600 XT. Thank goodness, not wood. In about 24 hours, I'm gonna hit the button. So, but yeah, guys, I'm gonna get on off here. So shout out to everybody that's here that came by. So the 3080 Ti in this terrible economy. Yeah, they're gonna have to put me on a payment plan if I were to try to get something like that. So Sam Ash and Patient Fire, Plus Ultra, Robert McLeod, Optimus Code, Luis Esteban, Patient Fire, everybody was here. T-Easy83, the Nightbot that's keeping everybody in line. Andre Scott. Just everybody that came through. Jay Swoles. Rice Eater 79 was the top super chat guy today. Did I see the DualShock control video on Twitter? No. What's up, Lay? I got nothing to play with it. So if it's for the PS5, I'll just wait for the PS5. So yeah, peace out, Optimus Code. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. Always a pleasure to get the professionals to come in and say hello. Gives the podcast, it takes a little bit of the funk off the podcast. Instead of an hour of funk, it becomes 5 minutes of funk. So, but shout out to everybody that came by. Make sure you play your games. Have a good one. And 4 o'clock today, Sucker Punch with Sony is supposed to unveil 15 to 18 minutes, whatever, of gameplay of Ghost of Tsushima. So we'll check that out, guys, and we'll be talking with you about it later on tonight. And I will see you guys later. Take it easy. You all stay safe out there. Kiss